Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment all the world was right, and how could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Holding you, I held everything. For a moment, wasn't I the king? But if I'd only known how the king would fall, hey, who's to say? You know, I might have changed it all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Yes, my life is better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
Okay, so in case you thought you were coming to the usual memorial service, I think you have it figured out. And for those of you who don't know, I am not Tom Goldsmith. Tom is not here today, so there is no conducting this thing, by the way. So anyway, I am very pleased to be here, as are all of you, I'm sure, to pay tribute, to celebrate the life of Elizabeth Beck Thomason. That is indeed why we all are assembled here today. And Liz did not make very many specific requests about what should go on after her passing. But the one specific thing that I remember her saying is that I'd like for my brother Kelly to say a prayer. And at this time, Kelly, if you would, please.
Yeah, and if you get break up, just look at Scott. Think of everything. Pick somebody up.
All right, as everyone heard, I am Kelly Beck. I'm Elizabeth's second brother. And for today's program, this might be the most traditional thing, this prayer that you'll see in a traditional ceremony. Because if she's asked me to give a prayer tonight, I think I know what she means. Our Father in heaven, we assemble here this day to celebrate the life of Elizabeth Beck Thomason and honor all the love, kindness that she has extended to each of us in this audience and on this stage. We appreciate that Liz was a person who knew God. She had grown from many trials in her life to become a wise soul, such that she extended that wisdom to all so that she could touch as she grew older. And as she embraced Ray and his lovely family, she blossomed even more and extended that love to them and grew and then further reached out to her family that she had had for 54 years prior to that and gave us strength and help. We so love and miss her. And we ask that today she would please smile upon us. Wonderful thing, Ray, and all his peers, loving friends, organized to honor her this day. Keep us safe. Thank you for the weather that we've received. Thank you for the life that she lived. Help us enjoy the celebration that she wants us to have. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Kelly. You did get under the time. Okay. Very good. So, as you know, Liz had a lot of good friends. Probably none greater than our good friend Helen. Helen, would you come up and say a few things?
So that's not true. Liz had many great friends. The one thing that she always knew how to do was make us all feel like we were the most important one. There was one other thing that Liz didn't want today, and that was this whole celebration, because she didn't want to be celebrated. But I'm so glad that Ray.
Actually, she did. Right where it is, she said, well, and you know what?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay.
and I'd like to share with you.
Yeah, okay, she did want that. That's true.
Oh, and Kelly.
Well, that was. Anyway, I want to read the obituary, and then I'll say a few words about it. I also want to give a shout out to, where's my husband? So I have enough to naked things. A shout out to our daughter who lives in Texas but helps Ray and I design the program with our park. And I do want to acknowledge that probably the main reason I'm up here is because Ray wanted me to acknowledge his brother. Back there, his look-alike.
Fraternal twin. We're not identical. We were separated at birth. South in Texas. They wagon and got him up there.
Okay, I'm going. Elizabeth Ann Beck Thomason, sweet little Lizzie. On December 21st, 2017, Elizabeth Ann Beck, my sweet little Lizzie, aka Miss Liz to the grandchildren, passed away after a long battle with cancer, to which she refused to concede. She was an extraordinary lady, friend, and mother. She was defined by her unflinching courage and unwavering independence, coupled with her true generosity and a deep spirituality with unconditional love for nature, all its creatures and mankind. She lived life just as she fought her cancer with an unwavering strength, independence, and courage. Beginning at the age of 3 and throughout adulthood, she would bug convention, all the while trying not to be bucked off her horse. And she was usually successful. Her courageous independence took her from her home in Pleasant Grove to an LDS mission, to 4 years in the West Wing of the White House was Ronald Reagan, to the President's Club multiple times as one of the top 5 medical device salespersons nationally for cyberionics, and to the national horse competitions in the USA and Canada. In DC, she began to transform and forge her deep belief in the necessities in our country of great abundance, to care for those who cannot care for themselves. She never stopped fighting for those who were defenseless and marginalized. Liz was always searching for the truth and the meaning of life. She was deeply influenced by her family's religion and other Western religions such as Buddhism. With that enlightenment, she diligently worked to make the world a gentler, kinder place. All of her spiritual journeys and travels eventually led and prepared her for her most important and final project. Ray, her husband, the love of her life and her children, grandchildren, and dog son Willie. She embraced his rock and roll Texas bands, his love of Alta, the rivers and the ocean, all things Texas, college football, and his passion for his medical career. This showed Ray how to cram as much love, laughter, and adventure as possible into each day. They traveled the world, going from tracking gorillas in Africa and butterflies in Costa Rica to the spiritual healing on the Camino de Santiago in Spain, to the Middle East, to the cradle of civilization, and a trek on the Great Wall of China. Liz was both passionate and politically active for the arts and for those facing adversity. She served on the board of Ballet West and several dog and animal rescue organizations. She donated her time and money to causes such as the ACLU, the Utah Food Bank, Salt Acting Company, and countless animal organizations, and the Utah Museum of Natural History. She was preceded in death by her father, Clyde, and sons by marriage, Kenneth and Patrick. She survived by her family that was so loving and supportive throughout her cancer treatment. Her mother, Dixie Beth, sister Pam, brother Scott, Kelly, and Jeff, her children by marriage, Chance, Christian, Hillary, and Elizabeth, daughter-in-law Jill, granddaughters Isabel, Josephine, and Matilda, her sister-in-law Holly, and Holly's husband Jim, 9 beautiful nieces and nephews, and her beloved dog son Willie. We will miss her warm hugs, her laughter, her generosity, and her passion for life, but we will not forget the example of how she lived her life. So I want to thank the Beck Thomason family for letting me be here to represent all of her many, many friends. Liz's friends have come from near and far. They are old and new. Some are her dog people friends. Many of her other causes are also represented. Her work friends, male friends, female friends, and of course her family friends. She built a menagerie, and she left each of us as her collection of mangy mutts. Liz was loyal beyond words, fiercely loyal. She would be rolling her eyes at us for the attention which she so deserves today. Liz lived her life with dignity. I'm just going to tell one little story about her dignity. It was her last, turned out to be the last chemo treatment she would receive. And Ray needed to go get some more dry ice for these blue caps. And he left me, and he said, get her dressed. So I was going to get her dressed, and she wanted to get dressed. And it was cold. But he wanted me to get her dressed in a different kind of pajamas. And I didn't. And as I walked out of the house, not only did she have a pullover t-shirt on, which is hard when you're putting all the tubes in, but she also stuck a cashmere sweater on. And off we went. And promptly, she got sick. And Ray took a deep breath and didn't yell at me, but said, this is why I didn't want her to get dressed. And I said, it's okay, we'll handle it. So we went to the bathroom, we got her changed, and then she wanted Ray. She always wanted Ray. And as they came, she hobbled into the bathroom. Things were not good. But as they came back out, and it was in the afternoon, and the sun was shining in through those windows, Liz came walking on Ray's arm with her head held high, her diamond earrings in her ears, her hair back. And I now know why she wanted to be dressed. She wanted to be dressed because she wanted that dignity, and she had it, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. She was not hobbling. She was good. Little story about her hair. We all know her hair was very important. Very. And due to a miracle of blue caps and the friends and the family that helped Ray do the blue caps for chemo, she didn't lose her hair either time. And right up to the very end, her hair looked beautiful. It was curled and washed thanks to the tampons. I know so many of you, probably each and everyone here, wanted to see her again. And I just have to give a shout out to everyone here for respecting her wishes and Ray's wishes and not encroaching on what was such a hard and private time, because I know that wasn't easy. And I know if any of you could have traded places with me, you would. Okay. I also want you to know that through the Caring Bridge and web and Facebook things, Lori just ran into you guys. We told her and we read her those things, so it was very important to her. That was one of the last things we did. And I used to try to make her guess who wrote, but it was kind of fun. She loved all of us. Just a couple more things. These are the things I'm going to miss so much about her. I already mentioned how she could make you feel like you were the only one in the room. Her cards. Never did a Valentine's go by that I didn't get a Valentine's card from her. Never did a birthday go by, let alone all the other ones. And I know I'm not the only one in the room. She kept Hallmark and stuff. I'm also going to miss those great big hugs. But I mostly miss that get on my roll and the jaw drop. I'm sure each of you are missing her. I know I am. And I will every day.
So our next speaker, moving on, one of the many Thomason children is approaching us, Christian.
On a beautiful morning like today, Liz would have loved to sit and read the New York Times with Willie and enjoy the beautiful family and home she created. She would have been so proud and happy to have us all together. Liz would have been there when I woke up with the discarded sections of the paper surrounding her. And yet, while Liz has been gone for 6 months, as the sun poured into her reading nook this morning, I felt her. I felt her presence, her patience, and her love of life. Riding a bull is said to be the hardest 8 seconds in sport. As you all know, being a part of the Thomason family is akin to riding a bull. And if 8 seconds is a complete ride, then 15 years should be a world record. Liz was able to do this and create this connection with us in the face of huge losses and adversity. Liz's ability to anchor this family was beyond impressive. In the months before she passed, we had the opportunity to say goodbye, and I will share some of what she said. She told me she was proud and happy of her life, that she loved her family and she loved her friends. She said she was proud of me and the bar I created, a bar that was created with her help. She said her only regret was that her adventures with my dad would be cut short, that she felt just a little robbed, and she apologized for being sick. Who apologizes for being sick? She said she would miss continuing to watch us grow. She said no matter how frustrated or sad you feel, some of the best days of your life are ahead of you. She said that you need to find someone in your life that is good to you, that accepts you for who you are, especially your faults, just as she did with my dad. And I told her how grateful I was that she had the resilience and unwavering patience to become a part of this family. And not only did she become a part of this family, she became an invisible anchor and tether of stability for everyone. I know that I will miss her for many reasons. Here are a few. I will miss that no matter how sick Liz got, every time I flew into Utah, there were boxes of Baker's raspberry tarts. I will miss her indecisiveness and her stubbornness. I will miss the hour-long, sometimes slightly heated political debates. I will miss her finicky eating and loud chewing. I will miss watching her sing, an act that involved 100% confidence and maybe a little less talent. I will miss her book recommendations. Mostly I miss her love, her bony hugs, and cackle-like laugh. Thank you all for being here.
Well done, Christian. That's going to be hard to follow. Nicely done. Howdy, everybody. Welcome. I got to put on my old man glasses. I'm just really proud to have been a part of Liz's life. She was an inspiration for me and my family. She was a strong, fearless, loving, kind woman with an abundance of energy. She's an amazing woman who woke up one day and had to run herd on the Thomason clan. She was perfectly suited to it, riding in on her tall paint, not afraid to put the spurs to us. Much appreciated. She never failed us in the formidable task of taking care of us, and there was a lot of that happening. I will definitely miss her hugs, which were as strong as her love. She was not afraid to take a hold. And I'm very, very proud to have been loved by Liz. And it's an amazing feeling that someone could just show up one day and fully embrace us. So as much as she embraced life, we all need to embrace it. We need to go out and do things that'll frighten us a little bit outside of our comfort zone. So to Liz, I say, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, let her buck.
Okay, so we get to the real heart of the Thomasons here. So I believe it's Josie and Tilly. Come on up, girls.
So as he said, I'm Josie.
I'm Tilly.
Liz always had a smile on her face. We had so many great memories with her. One of my favorites was around Christmas 2 years ago in Seattle. We were at Christian's bar. We were all having a good time and eating. And one of her favorite songs by Adele, Hello, comes on. And the next thing we all knew, she was singing it at the top of her lungs, having so much fun, just making everybody laugh. And it was really, really cool. Go ahead.
Also, like every time she'd come to Colorado or we'd go visit her in Utah, like the first thing you could expect was the best hug ever, because she's one of the best at giving hugs. Also, right after my Grandpa Ray and Liz got married, we didn't know what to call her, so I was asking her, I was like, what should we call you? And then that's how we thought of the name Miss Liz, and so then that's just what everybody started calling her. So that's where the name Miss Liz came from.
She had the sweetest soul of anybody I'd ever known, and not a day will go by that I won't think about you.
And we love her very, very much.
Elizabeth. And this mic, please. Make sure you check that.
Okay, let me just take everybody in. Thank you so much for being here. I was really hoping I could sing first. Didn't work out that way. There aren't enough words in the English language to describe the mystery, the complexity, the generosity, and the grit that Liz Beck had. Every time I tried to put her in a box, every time I thought I knew who she was, she would have a half a glass of wine and sing hello at the top of her lungs. And I said, this woman is not who I thought she was. She constantly surprised me. Her entire time spent with this family, beautiful surprises. Whenever I think about what you should say about someone at a funeral or a life celebration, and we've had a lot of practice in this family. I just learned so much from life, and I learned so much from death, and I just wanted to share some of the things that knowing Liz had taught me. One of the lessons I learned from Liz was one of the most inspiring things you can do in life is live a full life. I love my dad. He's one of my best friends, and everyone here knows what an incredible journey just his life has been. So trying to think of a woman who could come into this mix and embrace us for what we were and bring something to the table. I didn't know who that woman was. I didn't realize it was Liz even years after they were married. But she threw amazing Christmases on days that we didn't want to wake up and celebrate anything. And I remember thinking that was just such a sign of a beautiful human being, the Christmases and the gifts and the way that she filled my niece's stockings and wanted to give them the most incredible, incredible day. I remember thinking, this is a woman I respect. We may not get along, girl, but I respect you. I also learned from her, she was such a bridge. She really was. In her getting sick, I got to know your beautiful family. And I'm sorry it took Liz getting sick for me to really take the time to get to know so many of the Beck side of the family, but it's better late than never. And I think one of the lessons I learned from Liz passing away is I get to continue to nourish a relationship with Helen, her best friend. I had no idea that I needed you in my life until we sat across and fed her ice chips and had beautiful conversations. And I realized I want to be that type of person in the world who, it doesn't matter what you believe, that people can just love you as you are. And I didn't realize that was going to be something I learned from her. I think the other thing I learned from her is if you focus on what connects you and the similarities you have in people, you get so much farther than when you point out the differences. And I just remember her being so spiritual and believing in affirmations, and me being like, I had no idea, and her love of the arts and all the old movies, and there was just a world that opened up in our relationship, and I do feel a little robbed, because I just wish I had realized it earlier on, to think about the conversations we could have had if I had been open to them. I guess the thing I want to end on is, she really was a mother figure. And there was a time when I was really struggling in New York, and she was the only person who understood what I was going through. And she showed up for me, and it didn't become about being a 24-year-old who needed a job. It didn't become about I needed to figure out my life. It just became about your happiness is the most important thing, and whatever I can do to help you become happy is what I need to do. And I remember being so surprised that she, even all the times that like my family had fights with her or all these things, that she could just come at me and just love me and embrace me and help me through something that no one understood. Lastly, I just want to share a couple of things that I absolutely loved about her. I've never seen anyone experience cancer with such grace, and my family has had a lot of that in our family and a lot of exposure to friends. And my brother went out kicking and screaming. And my mother, when I was younger, maybe didn't accept it. But Liz, I just remember being so blown away with the poise and the grace that she had. She would still go out to parties with my dad in the neighborhood, even though she was feeling awful. And it wasn't because she needed to prove anything, it really was because she loved all of you and she wanted to be there for you and my dad. I loved the way she loved my dad. That was one of the biggest reasons I loved her. We're such beautiful messes, all of us, and she would fight. She would make sure that the people who were working on the house were doing their job when Dad was all over the place, or she'd call back those people who overcharged her on the utilities, or, you know, I just knew my dad was like, Ray, don't eat that. You know what I mean? Like, at first I was so critical of her. And I was like, why are you doing that? And I realized she loves this man and she wants to spend as many minutes with him as she can, and he better take care of himself. And I lived in New York and I live in LA, and so knowing that someone was in his corner every second of every day making sure that he was okay, I couldn't thank her enough. So thank you, Liz, so much for being who you were. Thank you for being the true embodiment of a woman who really didn't need no man, but chose one just because life is better with more love in the world. I guess, sorry, the last thing is, when she would introduce me as her daughter, she was so proud. And that's when I really knew we were family. Like, even speaking today, I feel there's so much of her life I didn't experience, so I even have a right to speak. But I was her daughter, and Liz was a part of our family. And she was proud of the grandchildren and the children and all the beautiful community and the friends that she had becoming connected with us. And I'm just excited to continue learning from her wherever she is. So thank you so much. And I think Hillary wanted to speak as well before Daddy gets up here.
Well, there's a lot of people here. Try to get through this. One of the most beautiful moments I had with Liz was one of the last. As she was in the hospital, we were my brother Christian, Elizabeth, Dad, and I were surrounding her, and she just said so calmly and so innocently, "I wonder what I'll come back as." And she kind of looked up. And then she's like, "Maybe I'll come back as a hummingbird." And all was just bawled. But it was this beautiful, sincere moment that we were all just in. And legends say that hummingbirds float free of time, carrying our hopes for love, joy, and celebration. The hummingbird's delicate grace reminds us that life is rich, beauty is everywhere. Every personal connection has meaning, and that laughter is life's sweetest creation. So let's not cry because she's gone. Let's smile because she was here. Thank you.
Hey. Hummingbird. Hummingbird. Okay. Now let's be happy. So this is the part now. Now we're going to do something different. We're going to do a Texas celebration. What we do in Texas, you know, you think it's country music, but Texas music is different. It tells stories about your life and people. And I'm getting ready to tell you about, you've heard about her terrific traits and qualities, that how she lived. But now I'm going to tell you how she and I lived. And I'm going to tell it in stories and some songs. And I'm going to celebrate her now. I have a great family. I sure appreciate all y'all. You know, I think we did a good job defining her in that obituary. It took us a month to write it. But all those traits prepared her for us. So, you know, she had, I love these words, unflinching courage. Man, I'll tell you what, we were at a bar listening to one of our favorite songwriters, and this 6'5" cowboy kind of bumped into her and nearly knocked her down, and she turned around and just smacked him. And I'm going, great, now I'm going to have to fight this drunk cowboy. I mean, good God. Man, she was like a little banty rooster. So, you know, you've heard how she grew up and everything. And at age 3, that's when she started running away. She was at primary. And she's going, you know, I don't like this. I'm going to walk home. She just leave. You know, she has, you know, she grew up with the teachings of at the LDS church, but all you know her, you know, you don't teach her anything. No, you don't teach her anything. She's, she learned it as she wanted to learn it as she'd go along. When she left, you know, in her middle school and high school years, she studied theater and arts, and she wrote poetry, and she wrote short stories, and she wrote songs, and she was in musicals, and she was a little cheerleader, and she rode her little horse. And when it's time to go to college, well, you know, when you're in Pleasant Grove, you go to BYU. Well, what she did was she went to Hawaii, BYU. You know, she just kept putting a spin on things. When it was time, then she goes off and does her mission. She comes back, and I'm not really sure if she had permission or didn't have permission, but she took a family car and drove it by herself to Washington, D.C. Walked into Orrin Hatch's office and said, "Give me a job." He did. And in a couple of weeks, got hired or got promoted up to the West Wing, and there she was with Reagan. You'll see these pictures of Reagan on the tables over there where we got all the pictures, and they must have had the same hairdresser because they had the same hair color. So, you know, it was in D.C. where she really forged her political views, and she felt very strongly about, you know, helping people who are marginalized and who needed help. And that's, of course, why she picked me. So, you know, she came back from D.C. and she worked for all these nonprofits, and I mean, my son asked me, why did I want to bring this? This was the first 3 weeks after she passed. These are all the charities that she donated to. My accountant, who had done accounting for 50 years, said he has never seen anyone who donated more money and was more charitable and generous than my darling. So then you kind of get to the part where she spent all this time and she's on these nonprofits, and she and Helen are going out, and this is then where we start intersecting. So I'm in this band called the Disgusting Brothers, and they were started to raise money for a nonprofit that would take handicapped children down rivers. Splore. And that began in the early 80s, and we played, and people say, gosh, we'd like you to play for us. Do you have a CD? And we go, nope. Do you have a list of all the things that you do and a CV to show that we're worthy to play for you? So we raised a lot of money, and so she, you know, I bet she was in the audience maybe 15 years, and we didn't know each other. So we were always playing nonprofits, and she was always there. So that sort of gets us to the thing that all these things just blew everything. So this gets to the point where you're wondering why she picked me. Well, the answer's simple. I'm a rock star. You know, the first question she asked me, so it's a blind date, and I see John, where are you? Toady and Amy. They're the ones that hooked us up. Had a blind date with her. First question she asked me, she says, "Are you in that old rock and roll band called the Disgusting Brothers?" And I said, "Do you like that old rock and roll band?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well then, yes I am." So I think besides that rock and roll thing and being a rock star, I think that was just part of it. I think she saw that we were we were pretty wounded. You know, we'd lost Patrick. We've lost a lot. And man, my family needed a woman, needed an anchor. I mean, we were without a rudder. It wasn't pretty. So she hopped in, and by the way, I was going to get her for Christmas this year, I was going to get her a letter jacket that said Thomason on it. Because you just don't walk in to the Thomasons and letter. You gotta earn it. And by God, she earned it. So, you know, we've a lot of y'all know the band, a lot of you know me, and a lot of you know there are two bands. One's the rock and roll band, one's the Texas band. Texas band raises money for transplant awareness. And that started in '95, and sort of our anthem and our theme song was On the Road Again. On the Road Again is a song by Willie Nelson, and it is a song about friendship, about living life through music, loving music, going places that we've never been, seeing things that we'll never see again. And so that was Terry Box, my best friend, and I. That was our theme song. And then we took these Disgusting Brothers and made them honorary Texans, and it became their theme song. And so Miss Liz fit right in. She fit right into this. She had a profound and deep love for music and for theater and singing. We'll talk about her singing in a minute. She loved to explore. At this point, I think I'd been to like 6 or 7 Rose Bowls. I'd been to the Big House 4 or 5 times. We traveled all over watching football. We had season tickets at UT Austin, season tickets in Utah, and we, Terry and Leanne and I, we just went all over the world, and all of a sudden now I had a running mate. I had a partner in crime, and by golly, she embraced it. She embraced it. She embraced my life, my kids. She embraced Alta. She could ski down Gunside, Eagle's Nest, off the high tee. I mean, she could rip it up. She could ride a bike. Terry and I were going up Alta one day. She's in front of us. He leans over and says, "You know what? She's got muscles." She's 105 pounds. She just smoked us. We had to get trained for a year by Eric Hyden to be able to beat her. So she's an athlete. She could ski. She was everything. And man, we traveled. We went to Africa. We went to the Bwindi Forest. We chased 900-pound gorillas. There's a picture over there where she's about 4 feet away from this 900-pound gorilla. Just amazing. You know, we did the Camino de Santiago. We went to Costa Rica. We went to Belize. We went to a lot of third world countries. We went to College Station. Went to Paris. I proposed to her in Costa Rica. I got a little beach that was private, and man, I'll tell you, we had a hell of a time. We went to Istanbul. We went to Turkey. We went to Amsterdam. When she got sick, I had to cancel a trip to Cuba, another trip to Africa, and a trip to Thailand, just in like a 5-month throw. That was on the books. My sister always said, now you call me when you go somewhere. Where's my sister? I can't. Holly, where are you? I see a little hand. She would say, call me. And I said, okay, Holly, we're going to Istanbul. We're going to Turkey. She'd go, you're going to where? I said, Turkey. She said, do you know where Turkey is? I said, yes. She said, do you know it's next to Syria? I said, yes. Well, we got there just as Russia and Obama decided to start bombing it. So, yeah, we lived on the edge. We lived on the edge. So, gosh, we traveled around, we saw more performances, went to more concerts. Man, she just didn't miss a beat. She was my sweetheart, she was my companion, and you know what? Damn, we had a blast. We just ripped it up. So that's what, now, you understand the first song we're going to do. Okay, guys, let's get up here. Let's do this first one.
That wasn't me.
All righty, our first song. This is how we live. This is how you should live. You should live with your friends. You should live with music. You should go places you've never been. And the other thing is, she actually thought I was a good musician.
He's already demonstrated your bad judgment.
Thunder? Right, okay. He's the best pedal steel player in the country. He's humble and he won't admit it. Professor Lindemann's one of the best keyboard players. Here we go. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going to places that I've never been. Seeing things that I will never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like the bands of Pixies, we go down the highway. We're the best of friends, expecting that the world will keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road. As we go down the highway, we're the best of friends, expecting that the world will keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. love that song. She's my running mate. Okay. You know, I couldn't. So, you know, I didn't marry her for 5 years. So we went all over the world, did everything. I was afraid she'd leave me, break my heart. You know, you've heard about I have a little baggage, huh? Yeah, I was afraid she's gonna leave me. Well, so I finally got her to marry me, and I got my, you know, I always get my friends, my best friends, to be part of my life, and my dear friend, Justice Ron Nearing, who's having a rough ride right now, but by God, he was gonna be here come hell or high water. Ron, I love you, man. Thank you for being here. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't get married until he got back from a bicycle trip going across Europe. So we got married. We got married up at Deer Valley, and Ron married us. Joe Muscalina played for us, and we danced. And second set was the Disgusting Brothers. We got up and just ripped up some rock and roll, and Joe let us just come up and go crazy. And we had a great time. A lot of y'all were there. Miss Liz made me a beautiful Texas cake. She made me a beautiful Texas sheet cake. And damn, we had a good time. And so that brings up the next song that is so important to us. And that song, it's a good thing I'm not singing this song. That song was the one we danced to. At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over. All right. So this is my daughter Elizabeth. Let's listen to that song that was one of our love songs. Alone sax. Thunder, Stevie Thunder. Bring it, buddy. From Carnegie Hall, her nephew, Cam Beck. Okay, that was one of our love songs. Now, you've heard people make reference to her singing. Well, she's a little touchy about that. She'd say, you know, I could sing. Alrighty. Okay. God, she loved to sing, but bless her heart. Well, I'll get back to that. So we love theater, and we love movies, love Sundance, and a couple years ago there was this film at Sundance. I think it took 11 days to shoot it, cost $17,000. This is about a vacuum cleaner repairman who's a songwriter, and a concert pianist walks in to get her vacuum cleaner fixed, and when they're walking out, he grabs his guitar and walks out. She goes, "Huh, what's that?" "It's my guitar." "What do you do with it?" "Well, I write songs and stuff." He says, "Do you like music?" She goes, "Yeah. I play piano." I said, "Okay, cool." So they're walking down the street, and he said, "Well, where do you play?" She said, "Well, right here at this music store." So she was from Eastern Europe and didn't have any money, and this guy let her use the used pianos in the back, and they go back in the back, and she said, "Well, play one of your songs for me." And so they played this duet that we're going to sing for you here in a second. And we heard it in Salt Lake, then we heard it on Broadway, then we heard it back at the Capitol Theater. And we'd drive around and we'd sing, and I'm a very tolerant man. But this is a song that's in the key of C. And by God, she could nail the key of C. Not C sharp, not B flat, not D, E, F, G, A, or B. But she owned C. And it pissed her off that I said that. I mean, I guess I should have just cut it by saying, all right. You know, she's a great singer. She was a great singer in the key of C. Okay? So we learned this song and started playing. And our plan was, you know, she got so many nieces and nephews. My plan was we'd start playing weddings and we'd sing this song. So this is a song that she and I sang to each other all the time. And then when she couldn't sing it right toward the end, then I'd sing it to her. I sang it to her every night. Let's see if we can do this. Here we go. This is called Falling Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know you, but I want to all the more for that. Words fall through me, always fool me, and I can't react. You have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you've won. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got your voice, you've got a choice, you've made it now. Thinking slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. Moves that take me and erase me, and I'm painted black. You have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you won. Sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You've made it now. Falling slowly, sing your melody. I'll sing along.
It just didn't come to mind. Purposely.
Okay. Well, so we sang that all the time to each other, and I sang it to her. So anyway, that was another one of our little love songs that we did. So after I met Liz, all my friends met her, and they there was a universally people would say, well, now you know what, you've got a guardian angel. An angel. Man, she was our angel. In the end, we traded roles, and I became her guardian angel. But she showed me how at the first. And so again, just being a Texas boy, and she loved this song. God bless her heart. She couldn't sing worth a damn except in the key and C, and she thought I was a good singer. But Willie, of course, wrote the most appropriate song for my angel. By the way, these aren't all sad. This one might be. But it's beautiful. Ready? If you had not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angels flying too close to the ground. I patched up your broken wing and hung around a while. Trying to keep your spirits up and your fever down. I knew someday you'd fly away. Love's the greatest healer can be found. So leave me if you need to. I will still remember. Angels flying too close to the ground. Fly on, fly on past the speeded sound. I'd rather see you up instead of down. So leave me if you need to. I will still remember. Angels flying too close to the ground. Leave me if you need to. I will still remember. Angels flying too close to the ground. All right. We had some melancholy songs. You know, so I said Elizabeth. You know, we all haven't practiced together, really, so we're... I said to Elizabeth, okay, well, after I take everybody down, you got to bring them up. And I said, well, what are we going to do? And so she came up with a tune that Miss Liz would love. Now, there's a line in here that we're all going to sing in a bit. We're all going to sing this line. It's the one that I sing. It's called A Lovely Day, Lovely Day, Lovely Day, Lovely Day. So, this is going to end this thing. What key did we play? C? What? C? No.
A very quick story on my phone is loading. When Liz was in the hospital the last week before she passed away, there was a Lady Gaga concert going on in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I had tickets to Lady Gaga, she said.
So, she is then heavily medicated and is heavily medicated and profoundly confused. And she comes up. You want her in the room. She raises up in a confused state and goes, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Really? Everybody goes. She goes, I think I have tickets tonight. What? So I looked on the email, and by gosh, she had tickets to Lady Gaga. She said, I can't go. Nope. She said, Elizabeth and Hillary have got to go.
And we felt a multitude of things about that. We even go to Lady Gaga and celebrate and dance while everyone's in the hospital mourning this transition. It was very confusing, but Liz was very insistent that we go. And it seemed in a world where you can't really control that process, that's actually exactly where we should be. So we ended up going to the Lady Gaga concert with a couple of our friends. And many of you know Lady Gaga, she just cuts you to the core, and there was this one line where she's like, is anybody having any family issues out there? And me and Hillary were like, oh! Bawling, holding hands, like crying, I love you so much. And then she was just talking about the power of music and turn your pain into gold. And that was huge. We just had this kind of epiphany of, I feel like our family are queens of that, kings and queens of that, of just taking what you've been through and sublimating it, alchemy, turning it into something more beautiful. And
Yeah.
just wanted to share that.
She loved music and she had great taste except for Josh Groban. I went to a concert with 40,000 women. I think I was the only man there. And a lot of you men don't even know who I'm talking about. But he changes costumes 3 or 4 times. He rides across the arena on a wire. He comes out of all different entrances. Bless his heart. I loved her. I went to Josh Groban, for God's sake.
Alrighty,
So,
let's roll through. This is a lovely day.
6 months before she passed, she said, and she was a political firebrand. She used to chase Congress people, senators around the state Senate up there. She would get in their face, wag her finger at them, and just rip them apart. And 6 months, she said, that's it. Turn that sucker off. I don't want to hear one more Trump word. We're going to watch Joanne and Chip Gates, and we're going to watch PBS Fix Her Up. We watched all 8 seasons multiple times, and if I'd have had my game on, I'd have had Chip and Joanne here to help because they're just happy people. I mean, they live in Waco, which is another third world country. So it's just right above College Station. So So anyway, this is, Liz would love this song. Liz is going to love this song.
So this is the first thing that came to mind.
Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Something without warning comes. There's heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be, gonna be.
Lovely day, 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 lovely day.
On a day that lies ahead of me, seems impossible to face. With someone else instead of me, always seems to know where. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be, it's gonna be, gonna be.
A lovely day, 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 lovely day. Walt Gregory, go baby. Liz really loved his jokes. Really loved his jokes. We're gonna let the big dog run. Run, big dog.
On a day that lies ahead of me, seems impossible to face.
It's a lovely day for you, darling. We love you. Woo! All right. Okay, so that's a lovely day, and that's how you're going to remember Liz and her generosity and her love and her spirit and how she made everybody better and how she gave more than she took. And bless her heart. Put up with me. Woo. So, at this point, I thank everybody for being here. And there are a couple things she wanted. She wanted champagne toast. There's alcohol, non-alcohol. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back over. Is that right? We're going back over to the Rose house over this little bridge. Everybody, grab your little champagne, and we're gonna do a toast over there. And then there'll be dancing over here. There's a bar over here. There's a bar over there, and we're just gonna have a lovely day. Yeah.